The reigning champs from Boston. This is the bounce-back game, the zigzag game. They went 15 of 60 from three. You're banking on the home team being the better team. Heavens to Betsy. This is a foul, but we don't care because OG Anunoby dropped the hammer. On the other end, Tatum down low, goes through Mikal Bridges, sees up 13. Next possession, Jaylen Brown had a rough night from three in game one. They all did the Celtics, but he hits that one. Now it's Tatum, Porzingis. He buries the three. Celtics 40-2 this season when they lead by 20 or more points. That's regular season and the playoffs. So they're up 20 again. Under 7 to go in the fourth. And you wonder, how close does New York have to get for it to get nervy? All right, it's 10. Al Horford with a miss. Here comes Brunson. 10-point game, catch and pull. Bridges had 14. They all came in the fourth. It's now a 7-point game. In transition, White looks cross-court. Tatum, clean look. No. The Knicks missed 13 consecutive shots in the fourth quarter. Tied for the longest streak in the fourth quarter of a playoff game since '98. But New York's got to make it hurt. Float game. Point. Josh Hart, 5-point game. Under 3 to go. A 4-point game. Jalen Brunson. Hart, the miss. Karl Anthony Towns had 21 and 17 boards and the free throw. It's a 1-point game. Now it's Brunson. Going to do that little drive, give the contact, and try to step back. He gets the bucket. The Knicks lead. The 20-point lead is gone. Now Boston missing Brown, missing the White with the putback. It's Brunson in transition with the right hand. It's a 3-point lead. 24 seconds to go. Celtics on an inbound. Watch where this screen comes. About midcourt, Tatum attacks the rim, drops the dunk. Celtics lead by 1 on the other end. Brunson draws the contact and the foul from Drew Holiday. He makes the first to tie things at 90. And New York has the lead. Under 13 to go. Boston has a timeout. They decide to play on. Tatum. This time being guarded by Mitchell. Such a great defender. Tatum tries to find Brown and pass it back, but it's Bridges again with remarkable defense. He closed down game one when he stole it from Brown. Here, basically rips it from Tatum. And New York, remarkable. They come back from down 20 on the road for the second consecutive game. They're going crazy outside New York. 5 straight road wins. Here's Brunson after yet another dub.
I would prefer not to, but we need to start the game a lot better. Sustain how we play. We got to find a way to limit their runs. They're going to go on runs. They're a great team, but we got to just find a way to limit their runs, and so not get in the hole like that.
We can't take anything for granted. We got to find ourselves executing at a higher level. We can't keep doing these 20-point leads for Boston and then hope to come back and win the game. We gotta play better. We gotta shoot better. We gotta execute better. We can't start having that kind of Knicks basketball being played down 20. We gotta start from start the game that way and finish the game that way. 48 minutes.
3 little things on what unfolded at TD Garden. The Knicks, the only team in the last quarter century with a 20-point comeback win in consecutive playoff games. In fact, they're the only team with multiple such wins in an entire series. And again, you're talking about reigning champions here. New York 5-0 on the road this postseason after winning all 3 games in Detroit. I still don't know how they did that. Now 2 in Boston. I don't know how they did that either. All 5 by 3 or fewer. Longest road winning streak in Knicks postseason history, breaking a tie with the 99 squad, who won 4. Pretty grim on the other side. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown a combined 2 for 19 from the floor in the fourth quarter, including 0 for 9 from 3. Tatum did not make a field goal in the fourth quarter of game 1. Brown didn't have one tonight. Here's Brown on yet another difficult loss.
2 games, we up 20 points. Somehow end up not with wins. It's inexcusable. I feel like we played a little bit fast and sped up a little antsy. Just a rough night.
Joe, what was the thought process with not calling timeout there with 12 seconds left?
Had one left, got a good look on the exact same play 20 seconds earlier, tried to execute the exact same thing. They did a job of their lower pickup point, and we weren't able to get the advantage. Good full court setting. They subbed out Towns, weren't able to sub out Brunson, had action there, and we just didn't execute.
The reigning champs just lost back-to-back games on their home floor to start a series, became the first team in history to blow 20-point leads in both. We just said that. I don't know what to say about it. I cannot believe they did it. I cannot believe they looked so uncertain in the process. Tim Legler in a moment. First, Steve, we have this news into the newsroom. We have an Action Bronson report.
Okay.
A sweep was once again predicted. There was a profanity directed towards Boston, which I cannot repeat. I was invited to the game Saturday. I asked what time he was going. This is where I have to speak as him. Whenever the game starts, which is an appropriate response. Sadly, I'm unable to attend due to family obligations. This was an Action Bronson report. We promised him he's on the way. I'm sorry, buddy.
What are you turn into a pumpkin in 5 minutes?
Nobody in the world better at the touchscreen than you.
Look at the vision. Look at the concentration.
Legs should be out on the court, man. He should be out here teaching some of us what to do out there.
Get 20 right now against.
Oh, I would love to get out there. You and I were a little two-man. Are you kidding me?
The Commanders have a head coach opening.
Can they give me an interview? Just let me interview. I mean, I got some ideas.
That's got legs.
Oh, you got Steve up there, too. I left my phone up there. I need a picture of that.
I forgot when we did That's Got Legs, but they didn't have legs because legs, you've been on the road doing games. You're going to be back out there soon. Happy to have you here tonight. Look, there's a ton, obviously. Celtics are 25 for 100 from 3 in 2 games. Can you imagine that? 25 for 100. I mean, we'll get.
We're gonna unwrap the bigger issues with this team.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
Mazzulla had a timeout. His clock management in this situation has probably a little bit to ask for. I don't know. You tell me. What'd you think of it?
Well, look, I would have been really interested in this last sequence regardless, but listening to his sound made me really interested in taking another look at it because he said they wanted to run the same action twice in a row. Now, here's the first one he's talking about. Boston down 1, 24 seconds to go. Jayson Tatum, as you can see, is right here taking the ball out of bounds, and the guy primarily guarding him on this possession is right here, OG Anunoby. Now, you're going to see McBride's going to clear out because his responsibility is going to be pick up Derek White. So those guys are emptying out. So this pickup point, as Joe Mazzulla alluded to, is in the backcourt. This now allows this blast screen action right here. Al Horford is going to run up to a dead sprint at half court. His job is going to be to clip off OG Anunoby. Does a great job of it. If he does that, Jayson Tatum knows the guy behind him is a center. It's going to be Mitchell Robinson. And there he is. And he's flat-footed. Tatum blows by, gets the dunk. Amazingly, to get a dunk in that situation, they go up 1. Now, here they go. Brunson makes the 2 free throws. No timeout, even though you have one in your pocket if you're Mazzulla, because he said, I want to run the same action, thought we could get the same thing, but the Knicks had a much deeper pickup point. You don't see any defender on Jayson Tatum in the backcourt. That makes an enormous difference. There's nobody in this space that there was in the last possession, which tells you where they are. And it's right here. Al Horford is again setting the screen. The problem is now both defenders involved in it are here. And not to mention the fact, the Knicks have 3 other guys. So there's a shell at the 3-point line. This is what Jayson Tatum is looking at coming across half court. So here's my question, Scott. Even at this point, 9.8 left, you're down by 1. There's Joe Mazzulla right there. You could still call timeout right now because clearly based on what you thought you'd see, the Knicks defended it differently as you would expect. They just gave up a dunk and the game is on the line. He elects not to. I find it odd to trust your team on a night they were this bad offensively to go make a play. And Jayson Tatum right here gets loose with his handle. This really affected the whole thing because I think what Jayson Tatum wanted to do was drive in here and go to this step back mid-range. And if you can get Mitchell Robinson off of you, you might be able to get a clean look. But he fumbles the ball, ends up taking it down to the baseline. And this is what's really incredible to me now. These 2 games, you get 2 defenders here. Scott, somehow, some way, that ball has to find Jaylen Brown. It just does. This is 2 games in a row, Scott, where their best 2 players not only don't get off shots, They don't even get the ball out of their hands to someone else to make a play.
And it's Bridges both times.
Bridges both times. Strips the ball out of Jaylen Brown, makes the play right there. You rarely see great players in those moments not get a shot off or find someone and trust them to make a shot. They were incapable of doing either, and as a result, the Knicks go out of there, with 2 wins. And so I'm really questioning Missoula with that last timeout. Your team was so bad offensively. Take it off their plate. Give them something designed in that huddle, down 1, going downhill to the rim to try to maybe get a call or something going to the basket.
There's 2 things here. There's the melt on Boston's side, and that'll make talk radio in Boston a field day on Thursday. But there's the fight from New York. You hear me and Steve talk about it all the time. We're not joking when we say stay in the fight. New York did it twice in a row, and they won both fights. Now, it's not a knockout. You still got to win 2 more. But how does the fact that they were able to summon this twice, now going back to the Garden, how does this play out moving forward?
Well, listen, obviously they're going to feel pretty good going into that crowd on Saturday up 2-0. Nobody expected this. At best, you're hoping for a split.
Right.
You steal the first one, and you're probably almost certain you're thinking split. Let's go to Madison Square Garden and rock that place and take control of the series. Now, they've got a situation where they're telling themselves no matter what transpires over the first 36 minutes of the game, they are, to your point, never out of the fight, never out of the game, and actually in a lot of ways comfortable in that situation. Now, Jaylen Brown's alluded to it. You can't keep dodging these, right? You got to be better.
No, it's not sustainable.
Right. But at the same time, they know Boston has something going on psychologically right now in these moments. You see the shooting percentages, 2 fourth quarters in a row. Inability to make a play at the end of the game from their best players. The Knicks feel like if we can just get you to that spot, we're going to handle it better because we're tougher and more confident. Particularly, I think, in their best player, Jalen Brunson, gives them a lot of confidence they can operate under that duress.
I mentioned New York's been great on the road in the postseason. They won 5 straight. Boston's been a tremendous road team. They're going to need to be, or they're going to be done. So they head to New York Saturday, 3:30 on ABC. More to come.
Tiếp tục mau. Mũi nữa này. Mũi nữa. Tiếp tục mũi tiếp theo này. Mũi cuối nhé. Móc mũi cuối vào đây. Ok rồi. Được một cái chuỗi như này. Bây giờ mình sẽ làm nó tăng độ rộng lên gấp đôi như này nhé. Giờ sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo vào. Mình sẽ móc vào đây 4 mũi bính. Đây, móc xuống này. Móc thêm nhiều mũi nữa. Mình sẽ móc vào luân phiên như này. Đấy, vẫn là những cái mũi nửa kép thôi. Mình gỡ thêm len để dùng nhé. Gỡ thêm len ra. Mình tiếp tục mình móc vào.